Welcome to Rugby 100 Club. I am your dude, Matt Courtwright, with Marques Goodwin today. Thank you for making an appearance, though.
What's up? What's up, Matt?
Hey, buddy.
Appreciate it, man. Nice intro, too.
You like that? Yeah,
Yeah,
my buddy Richie did that, man.
I
He's
was
a
about to say, I don't think
genius.
you did it. I knew you outsourced that bad boy. That was too technical for you guys.
I know, right? Like, I can do stick figures with Crayolas.
I'll get that.
How you been, man? It's been a minute. I haven't seen you since the championship.
I mean, I've been trying to stay away, trying to stay in shape. A lot of hot yoga, a lot of downward dogs.
Yeah.
No, life is good, man. Life is good. No complaints, man. No complaints.
Good. I saw that you went down the tens tournament and had some fun there.
No, that was a really interesting tournament in the sense that it was like the perfect time for the players' development. It was over a month. And so usually that fall season is kind of like I wouldn't say like a waste, but there's really nothing in that space. So it filled that void really good. Competition level was good, ran professionally. No, it was everything you can ask for. So big shout out to Andrea, the Tens, and the Rhinos for putting that together.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I heard good things, good feedback. Man, a lot of people don't know, this world is so small of rugby, right? So like, I remember when I met you and it was the last game in the LA Coliseum for Major League Rugby.
Oh yeah, that's right, man.
Do you remember that? I think Scott Green was the ref. You were a touch judge. And I came out on the pitch and went over to you guys and went over to you specifically and was like, hey, will you sign this ball? And you're kind of look every time I get it from the refs the first time around, they look at me kind of like, what the French toast? Like, why do you want me to sign the ball? I'm not a player. Like, no, dude, you guys are just as important, if not more important than a player in my mind. So like, please, it's an honor, you know?
Yeah.
And then as you're signing it, I was like, hey, are you Kevin Battle's son? And you looked at me like, WTF, this guy knows too much about me.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, me and Kevin try to keep it outside the public, because you don't want the relationship to interfere with everyone's abilities. And sometimes, you want to shine on your own self instead of using, your pops. Oh, I see. I got the students coming in. Y'all want to say hello or something like that? I got an interview going. So I know, and it's not even 1:30 yet. Can you? Yeah, you can go take a break. Go ahead, take a break. So, hey, that's what rugby is. So, us allowing, you got to work in order to go and serve the game and work again on the weekends. So that's crazy. But yeah, I'm in my classroom for everyone, and if I'm looking around, I got some students testing, some students taking a break. Teach special education, so everyone has individual needs around here, and you just got to accommodate pretty much like the rugby field, man. Everyone's their own man, and their concerns are the most important at the time. You just kind of, do your thing and try to make sense of it all. So, but yeah, man.
Yeah, bless you, bro.
That game in Seattle was it was good. Seattle won that one, right?
Yeah, it was in LA, and it was Seattle versus LA. Giltinis. It was the last game in the Coliseum. It was my first and last time to the Coliseum.
Yeah, man. Special place that was, man.
It was.
We all realized, I think that season, we were like, man, I don't know if this is going to last too long. It was
right.
The LA perspective, man. They really did a good job at pretty much putting everything together and showcasing what rugby could be. I mean, they spared no expense, and that was probably the downfall. But man, they really went out their way to make a good occasion of it. And playing at the Coliseum, that's something now we look back like, wow, did we actually do that? So no, it's good times, man.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. Yeah, seen you at some sevens down in San Diego, and then kept on bugging you, going, hey, when you come up to Seattle, you got to reach out, bro. We got to break bread. And I won't forget, man, all of a sudden my phone rings. I can't remember. It must have been like I think it was a Friday or it was a weekday. I know that. And you were like, hey, it's Marques. And I was like, what the? Like, dude, like, no mark. Like, hey, man, I'm in Ellensburg. I'm at Central, roughing a game. I'm like, giving you a bad time going, what? No call before? No heads up before? Like, what the
Hey,
French?
man,
Yeah,
it's a juggle, man. Like, cause if you
it is.
you trying to coordinate all this stuff of going home with your family, making sure that they straight for the weekend. You're doing everything you can for your job, making sure everything is relatively done, and then you got to prep for the game. And then once that's all done, it's like, all right, do I know anyone in town I can hang out after the game? So unfortunately, you came at the tail end of my planning, so I had to give you that phone call and after the fact. But now I'm gonna give you at least a week's notice nowadays, man.
I love it. No,
Week's
and any of us that know you, we know that that's your style in general. So, like, it's just fun to rib you because that's my love language is just to rib my friends.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got you, man. I got you.
No, too much fun.
But yeah,
No,
man. And how are you doing? You were at the tail end of the health scare and all of that stuff when we met, and you was coming.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
were
I'm no
coming up.
longer using a walker, thank goodness, man.
Hey,
Yeah, no, things have improved. Uh, it is the end of January right now because I probably won't edit this for a minute. And at the beginning of the year, we got new insurance, and so we have to get my medical and such reauthorized or anyways, I don't understand all the terminology, to be quite honest, and I have had to learn too much too quick to teach people how to do their jobs, I guess. I don't know, but it got denied, and so I'm my fingers, all my digits actually feel like they're in Chinese finger cuffs. When you pull them apart and you start losing circulation and you're like, oh man, this enough. I got to try and push and get it released. And all,
yeah,
that's how my fingers feel all the time, and the bottoms of my feet too. So I'm really uncomfortable, but just like everybody else, I got my issues. You got yours. I'm just working through my problems. So I just got approved for medicine last night rather, and so I should be getting it the first of next week, which I'm hoping for a quick turnaround to get back up to speed because I've been fading, which means I have a hard time going upstairs. I can't feel things, like I can't like touching things. I don't know how much pressure I'm applying, so like I could put too much and not enough. Can't touch remote controls, like how they have the
yep,
little
yep.
dots on it and such. I can't feel that. It's kind of weird, but
Man,
not kind of weird. It's completely weird. But
yeah. Hey, but from that day till today, man, you seem to be 50% better, 100% better. So
thank you.
the exterior is doing good. So, the rehab and all that kind of stuff, man, keep pushing through it. And, we here for you.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the love, actually. So, what you got going on in referee development these days?
It's an interesting time. I kind of shifted a couple focus. So I focus in Southern California on like the high performing performance referees, which doesn't mean that they high performance. Just kind of mean they have that aspiration to get to the next level in their journey. So it's my job to keep them and push them through the next levels. I have a young lady who's entering, just getting her first game, and she's already in the group. And because she's fit, she's keen, she wants to do everything she can to rise up. And I also have referees that's emerging, trying to get them to the MLR AR side of things. And so with that group is just kind of nurturing them to get from whatever level they are to the next, and kind of keep them pushing up, and just kind of mentoring them, showing them the way, keeping them out of trouble, keeping them accountable, and just kind of being there as a guidance, through their journey. In addition to that, we have Project Popolo, which is our group that on the outside of the USA Rugby development kind of spectrum, it kind of operates independently to do that for Black and Polynesian referees in the US, to get them the same thing to one step at a time. In addition to that, we kind of advocate for them in times of need, and we pretty much 50-50 with that, because from the refereeing space, you get on field things, conflict resolutions you can help with, but then there's a lot of off field politics and situations that, as you know, I mean, you dealt with it, dealing with the population of people who, uh, aren't as familiar with the refereeing landscape. Especially with Black and Polynesians, like the refereeing world is pretty. It's an interesting world, and so being there to help them navigate that space and kind of keep them accountable and doing the best that we can to diversify that referee pool and make sure that everyone else have some dreams, and also provide them a different perspective on the game as far as like what they can do with refereeing. We do a lot of international trips. We have a couple coming up. Backstories: we've been to Fiji, been to Tahiti, took a group I think to Hawaii. But we try to get over. We try to do things outside the box to provide them, just as good as a year in a season as anyone else, whether if you're in a high performing space or not. And so it's just kind of keep them engaged, keep them accountable, and then also provide them with a I would say like a journey that's kind of worth going. So the next one up was we kind of partnered with Urban Rugby Championship in Kevin, of course. And we're gonna have a referee development camp there in conjunction with the NOLA LA game. So we'll invite referees over for that, referee coaches, and some other peoples, and that's with the high school students event as well. So they touring around HSBCUs, and so we have that, and then also I think we just partnered up hopefully with Lit Sevens. They're gonna have a camp in Chula Vista, so we're gonna do that, and then the next trip over is a toss up between Colombia and Japan. So you know, hey, you see that face? Exactly. So
That sounds lovely, bro.
hey, it's nothing like
Thanks
a
for bringing
tour.
that up because the whole Polynesian and Black thing. I'm a guy that's grown up in a melting pot, if you will. So, I didn't even think about how we need more culture in our referee society. I didn't even think about that, and I love the fact that you're addressing it because I think that personally, and this is just my opinion, I think that we always have to talk about this stuff because if we don't, it gets ignored, and we just can't have it be ignored. And if we don't talk about it, then it creates walls that we don't know are there, and or boundaries rather that we don't know are there. And if we just discuss it, we now know that they exist.
Yeah. And I mean, you just got to match the player population, right? And the
Yeah.
population in general. We have in the US, we have a very diverse playing group, very diverse coaching group, and the expertise and the background knowledge and the empathy, all that comes from the cultural experiences. So, you has to be across the board. There's some things that, you only understand when you go through it. So, just making sure that we're doing our due diligence. Yeah, put your mask on, like the airlines say. Put your mask on first. And so, my mask is, and everyone knows this is my population of people. So and I'm not sugarcoating anything. No, it just
No,
straight. It is what it is. So yeah, man, doing my
I,
best to
man,
take care of
I
us.
I love that about you. Honestly, that's you're just direct and you're candid and you're pretty funny in my opinion too.
No,
Sometimes.
I'm too candid. I get in trouble for that. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm on a year of being nice and respectful and not talking, et cetera, et cetera. So I even have. I know. Look at that. What's up, Miss Luciano? I got an interview. Uh, you wanna join in? No. Oh no, he's out. See, he was earlier, and then he left at recess. So see, I mean, it just never stops. So whenever I can fit in some rugby, man, you trust me, I do it.
I love it, man. No. This is exact. I like it because it's not fake. It's real. This is how life actually works.
No, it is, man. It is. And so that's honestly, man. As much as I love rugby, I do think that the honesty bit we can do better at. So we see so many interviews where it's, oh yeah, everything is going this and that, and it's pretty. Give me the
Oh
real
yeah.
side. Okay, give me the real side. But it's all good.
Keep it
I'm
keep it
a true,
100, man.
yeah,
Keep it 100. That's it.
Nah, hey, when keeping it real goes wrong, though. Everyone's seen that Dave Chappelle skit, and that's what I'm refraining from. I don't want to keep it too real.
We don't need you jumping on couches.
Nah, I ain't jumping on nobody's couch. All right, I jumped on the couch.
I knew exactly where you're going with that.
You got it. See, that's thing that you need that. You need that.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I just love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I love your candid self, man. It's just too funny. Like everybody's got their like niche, you know what I mean? And you are relatable. I love it. It's so
Nah,
relatable.
nah, man. Hey, kudos to you, man. You upgraded, man. The studio's looking nice. You
Thank
know,
you. Thank
um,
you.
the cameras are legit. Microphones are legit now. Like I remember the
I've
first
learned from my mistakes.
day, and I tried to listen to one podcast. It was muffled. I was like, oh man,
Oh,
I got
yeah. Just it
when
was
you
a
look back,
dumpster
right?
fire, some of them, bro.
Hey, but you push through. That's the key. The key is to push through. You need that, man.
Yeah.
You don't need the $1 million
Dude,
equipment, but that journey
it's
is
so
where it's at.
funny. You're spot on, and thank you for mentioning it because, like, my buddy Samu Manoa, right? Like, he is such a good dude. We've done like 3 interviews, and every time I have trouble with the microphones. I'm trying so hard not to cuss. So every time I have problems with the microphone, the sound. I mean, the last one I did with the Seawall podcast, it was such a good night. It was such a the camaraderie between the players was just on the next level,
Yeah,
and they created conversation between themselves. And just to be here and listen to the stories, because it's like sitting around a campfire listening to stories. Like who doesn't like that? It's just good fun. And
that's it. You can follow it, man. You're not doing X's and O's and patterns. No,
yeah. Well,
you
and
can follow
stats
the
come and
story.
they go, right? So,
Yeah,
like, I might check out on stats right now, but then, like, how do I get to know the person? Because there's so much more to each one of us than just rugby.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, nah, it's good,
Yeah.
man. It's
No.
good.
So, I'm, no, I'm pushing through and trying to make this better. I got better cameras, as you noticed. Thank you for mentioning that because that's something I didn't say to nobody. And these microphones here, hey, woo. And then of course the balls and the sign and the jerseys. I don't have to tell anybody that there's a certain podcast that's much more popular and well versed than my own, and they just been biting. I love it. They've been biting. Like all of a sudden they got lights in the background, their
No,
balls are inflated, and they don't have stickers, and like they're taking themselves a little bit more seriously, and I just
hey,
giggle.
it's the competition, man. This is what America is built off of. Like, what
It
what are we
is
kidding? It's competition. The podcast space. You look at theirs, you upgrade. You look at yours, you upgrade, and they look at yours, they do the same thing. And next thing you know, our product is getting better and better. So,
right.
like, we don't have to deviate from what we know was right. Here in the U.S. and competition is king. So iron sharpens iron. That's
Amen
that's
to
all
that.
it is.
Seriously, it's interesting that you said that because Scott Fiera and all of us were on a podcast together, and we were behind the scenes chatting it up, and that's exactly what came up. Iron sharpens iron. That's what Scott said, and it's like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I've been learning as I go. I get good advice from other friends, but that's something that in the heart of this rugby community, I really appreciate that we're supporting each other, and it's the with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you providing. I mean, it's like coffee, right? Coffee is good, but it's also a habit. You got your coffee shop that you like. You created that habit. So the fact that you're so consistent, whether if it's good or not, muffled microphones, shitty lighting, like you were consistent
Right.
enough so people create that habit to go and check in and may not check in this week because he didn't fix the mics, but now he fixed them and go back and check in. So that's the key, especially when everyone's starting out, and we all are starting out. There's no TNT money here. There's no, it's
Right.
everyone's investing in themselves and investing in the game, and that's what's needed. The stories, the commentary, and upgrading yourself. And so, Same as a referee space, like it's what's stopping me from giving a shitty performance, myself. I just want to upgrade, get a little bit better every single weekend. That's all it
Right.
is,
Right.
and then you keep
1% a
going.
day
So,
is progress.
exactly, especially over 100 days, right? So
Right.
that's the way you gotta look at it. That progress over time. You put the time in. Other podcasts put the time in. They get much better, and the content's getting better. You kind of see what works and what doesn't work, and you adjust and you pivot. And next thing you know, a year or two later, we're looking back and it was like, oh man, remember where we were? Like, yeah, I was embarrassing, but you needed that time, right? Like you needed it. So yeah, man, keep it up, keep it up.
Thank you, man. Thank you. No, I'm having my own thoughts as you're saying that, and I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, no, I remember uh, doing it loosey goosey with these really inexpensive mics on my phone and buying this tripod, and I can't
Yeah,
believe it recorded half of what we said. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and we did live stuff once in a while, and that
yeah.
was just chaos manufactured. At the end of the day, a
Nah,
little bit
and I
learned what
even looked
not to
at.
do.
Yeah, you sent me the link over, and I'm like, man, I've been trying to. All right, I'm gonna get StreamYard. I ain't trying to pay for it, but Matt's showing me up. He got StreamYard now. Okay, maybe I need to go ahead and download it as well and everything. So look, that's a testament to it. So
That's funny
everything.
because I got it from Rugby Rant, bro. So,
Hey,
ha,
see, hey,
yep,
that's the way it works. That's the way the game works. And so you beg, borrow, you steal, and you outcompete and you keep pushing. So keep it
absolutely. I mean,
possible.
absolutely. I didn't realize how comfortable it was to work with it until Rob and I interviewed Justin Hickey, the head coach of Notre Dame, in
Yeah.
Chicago, and Rob had a tablet for the video, and then I grabbed my mics, we plugged it in, and it took off. And we did just fine. And I was like, I mean, I would have had to have multiple camera. Like I was overthinking it, honestly.
Nah,
So
yeah,
you taught.
sometimes it's easier than you think, and so
Yeah,
and it's a slow investment too. It hurts when you try to buy it all at once, but you nibble away, you get one here, another one there, and you keep investing. That's the key, man. Like no one's telling you put $1,000,000 up. They're just asking you $1 a day, right? I can
there
save a
we go.
dollar. So I don't even know how we got to this. Now we getting straight.
No. It's funny too because I remember us hanging out in San Diego at that sevens tournament, and you're like, "Hey, I got my podcast stuff with me. Should we do a podcast?" I'm like, "Man, I don't think your day's ever going to end because it was so busy that day." And like we've been talking about doing a podcast since then, and here we are. We're
That's true.
finally doing
That's
it,
true.
bro.
No,
We're
and the
doing it.
funny thing is, like, I did have everything with me because I had recorded some stuff for like our referees because I think we had a camp. We did something in Chula Vista or something like that. I don't know what I was doing that weekend, but I usually carry all the equipment with me just in case because you know how rugby is, man, and
You got to
you
take advantage of that
you can only
opportunity.
get people together so easily, and so when they are together, you just gotta if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So that's the key. So like I got everything you need. You got the time, we can just knock it out. So
Man, could you imagine if we would have set up post? I mean, you were busy as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs on the championship, but could you imagine you and I sitting over in a corner with a couple microphones and bringing dudes in and just like rapping with them?
nah,
That could be so much fun.
and it to me it only takes. You at the Seattle games every week. I don't know why you haven't done it there. Pitch yourself a corner and get it and get it done. If the fans come in, just have a microphone. The thing is, it's
You're
endless
right.
possibilities. It's all about just doing it, and so what's stopping you? Go ahead.
I thank you
Next.
for that idea. I'm going to take that bad
Hey,
boy and run. I
hey,
mean, last year, of
I don't
course, I was
charge
like
too much,
drooling
man.
out of both corners of my mouth, but hey,
Yeah, I don't charge
you,
too much though. I'm gonna give you a free session. You know how it is. I give you the Costco sample, then I'm gonna have you buy the
right. Then
purchase.
you're going to have to
Yeah,
take, I'm going to take your wallet. Yeah. All right. Well,
no,
we'll be right back after this small break.
Love rugby? So does Matt. He is host of the Rugby 100 Club podcast, where Major League Rugby stars tell their stories. But it's more than a podcast, it's a passport. Rugby 100 Club builds epic fan trips to follow your team on the road. Game day tickets? Included. Tailgates and fan meetups? You bet. Unforgettable memories every single time. Rugby 100 Club, where fandom meets the road.
All right, we're back with Marques. Marques, after the last part there about, keeping consistency and fairness, my question to you, and this is a loaded question because I don't think there's a straight answer, is like you get penalties and then you call advantage. Like, what is something you're looking for to either stick with let the game play out or call the penalty?
So that inner monologue that we chatted about a little bit before. So as you're going through the game, you read in the play, you're like, okay, 9 gets to 10 side steps. Oh, there's a gap right there. Right. And so I'm already know that there's a gap right there. And next thing I know, let's say 10 gets tripped. Right. So I got advantage for tripping. But I know that there's a gap right there. So I'm putting my arm out for advantage to see if 10's able to get that ball through the gap. He does. I'll play through it. I look back at the guy who tripped him. Number 7, got 7 blue for the trip. I'm going to play through that. No advantage, or they score, I come back. Right. And so the way that you know how to go through is you reading those plays. You reading the success probability of that play going off. Is one way. The other way too is you may have a penalty, scrum penalty or something like that. And then it's almost like a free play. And so like, look, I'm gonna give you a couple phases to see if you do your cross field kick or you do your strike move to see if you can execute off of this advantage. And those are the 50-50s. Sometimes that's the art of refereeing right there, is how many of those you give. Was it better just to blow the scrum penalty or to play advantage from that to see if they're going to do something? And then you kind of read the players. Are the players fatigued? Are they in the middle of the field where they just want to go for a line out to maul? And so that's the same anticipation and reading the play and the players' exhaustion, etc. Or are they fast paced? Are they going to take this penalty and quick tap? So you kind of putting all of those kind of puzzle pieces together as you blow it, or you play advantage through it. So, and there's different instances of the game that you would play, you wouldn't play advantage for. So you got a serious high tackle, yellow card, you want to make a statement, done, no advantage from that. You come here, you got to send a message that we're not going to tolerate this at all. You don't want to play too much away from scrum penalties advantages when a scrum collapse, because the forces of the players are still pushing. So if it collapses and you play advantage, that means that the whistle's not blown, so the players don't have their signal to stop. So they still pushing with players on the ground. So traditionally, with a clean scrum penalty, you just want to blow that penalty immediately, adjudicate appropriately, get them down, give the feedback that you need to get the players. Oftentimes, you'll see those scrum penalties advantages. The ball's already at the 8-man feet. They are pushing, and then there's a collapse. So, but because it's already at the 8-man's feet, it's going to go out pretty quickly. So because it goes out pretty quickly, they're not going to continue to push. So you registering all that in your head as that moment happens, and you kind of preempting that situation. So you kind of already know which trigger you're going to pull based off of that situation going into the particular area of the field, and then also how you're going to escape it as well. So
yeah, I guess it goes without saying, like, experience speaks a lot about that.
Yeah. A lot of experience, and it's like a story you're telling yourself, man. As a referee, you go back and look at the film and you're like, man, you every time you play advantage, you want them to get the advantage gained, right? You want to realize as a referee, because that anticipation tells how well you're refereeing and how well you're doing in that particular game. Because you played advantage 3 times, they all capitalize. So you read the play well, you read the game well, if that makes sense.
Thank you. No, just trying to expose where you're coming from as a ref is just definitely my goal, because I don't think enough people talk about the job and the assignments and the responsibility of the refs and the touch judges and such. So, like, I don't think you guys get enough credit, because that is a lot of responsibility, and God forbid it doesn't go the way that the person watching you wants it to go, and then they just start talking trash. And it's like, if you can do better, get your ass out there and ref.
I mean, and that's the thing. The trash talking is going to come with any job. I don't know if you're a working man, but
haters are my motivators, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's no job you have where people don't come and criticize and talk trash about. So, what you do to perform at your job well, and what feedback you take is on you. So, what types of things motivate you? Do you need to go and look at the Twitter after games to get fired up to be better? Or do you just need to look at the trusted people and the people who got you there and kind of, ground yourself? So it's all individual. But if you think, I'm gonna speak for myself, like there's no, I definitely don't go back and read no comments. I have no idea. I'm already busy calling Matt up trying to see where we're gonna go. like
where are we meeting up? This is like, I'm over it, bro. Let's go have fun.
Yeah. But that's not how I got there. I got there because I do put a lot of work in pre, during, and after match, as far as like getting better. So any mistake that you think that I made, I'm gonna tell you 100%. It's already on my report, and if it's not on my report, it's on my coach's report, and if it's not on my coach's report, it's on the team's coach's report. So we already know. Like we already know it's a missed call, and the key is to take accountability for that, and then learn from it and move past it. So, appreciate the peanut gallery, but it's a
some people are just never happy. There's that. Just leave them alone, And I've also never met somebody that criticizes me that's doing better than me.
Hey.
Same.
That's true, man.
What is one of the most challenging aspects of refereeing a rugby game?
The most challenging that I find, especially when you're working with referees and getting them better, is post-match analysis. That's challenging.
Yeah.
Pre-match is prescribed. Pre-match is me telling you, hey, you have the front rows. You say, all right, boys, I want you to push straight. That's pretty easy. During the game, you're not too much in control of anything. If you're relatively in shape and you know what the game is, you're going to call your scrums, your knock-ons, your high tackles. You're going to have some flare-ups. That's not too demanding. The demanding part is the accountability that you have in your post-match analysis, because the video doesn't lie. And your ability to get better and push yourself through that and seek out the guidance and information and knowledge to get better, I find is the hardest thing of refereeing, because you don't have a team, right? It's not like let me just go to practice and work on my spin pass or my tackle technique. Nope. You don't even have any of that. So you isolate it. It's a part of the game that it's not too glorified. There's not that many experts that you can reach out to. You can, and which I do advise, you can go to practices and seek out information from teams and coaches, but once again, you pretty much isolate it, right? You by yourself. No, so I think that is the hardest part, because you're getting better, but you're doing so in isolation. And I think I heard like an interview Quade Cooper did back when he was playing club rugby after being dropped from the Wallabies and the Reds and blah blah blah. He had like a phase of him going back to the club game before he went to Japan, and then he was saying how difficult it was, that he didn't realize how to stay in shape, because when you're in a professional environment, everything's prescribed. You got your food, your dietitian, you got your training regiments, everything is laid out for you. But at the club game, you come up with your own schedule. You in the gym by yourself, your own workouts, and that's hard. And even for someone like Quade Cooper to admit that that's difficult, like it is. And I think the post-match analysis is similar to that, where, all right, you're on your own with your own video. How do you get better? You're in a gym by yourself with dumbbells. How do you get better? So you need to do a lot of research. You need to figure out a game plan to get yourself better every single weekend. And during the game, it's not the time to get better. It's the time to perform. So that's the most difficult part about refereeing.
I didn't think about that. It's very independent, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So
How do you handle the situations when players and coaches disagree with your calls?
Ain't nobody ever disagree with my calls, Matt. No, I'm just playing.
Never. Absolute saint. I can see the halo.
The disagreement is the way that I handle those is similar to what I just said before. It's you note it, right? If a scrum goes down, you call a penalty. You expect them to get up and kind of complain or this or that. But you do note it. You do kind of mentally note, like, that third scrum, let me go check that out. Or a coach comes up and say, man, high tackles all day. You're like, okay, let me go back in post match and check that out.
Yeah.
And you may be 50-50 or something that you get wrong. And then, what I try to do is I often try to have a dialogue with the coaches and the players about those calls afterwards and just, take accountability. It's like, yep, this one, my fault on that one, wasn't in a good position, or this one, like I just got that one completely wrong, saw the wrong picture. Thank you for pointing that out, and that's it. And so the way that you handle those difficult, challenging times, to go back, take a look at it, in a space where your heart's not pounding, or people aren't screaming at you, and then you look at it objectionably and kind of see, how are you going to do better in that situation, and just kind of close the loop, make sure everyone kind of knows that, yep, coach, actually, from what I saw, the tight head adjusted his spine, got on the arm, and under pressure collapsed. You can see the knee on the floor right here. So that's what I was calling. Then the other coach may say, yeah, I appreciate that. That was just the feedback that we got from the players on the day. That's what usually happens. The player told me this was happening. I'm like, okay, word.
Perspective. Yeah. And then hearsay. So there's that too, right?
No, yeah, 100%. So
we'll be right back right after this short break.
Love rugby? So does Matt. He is host of the Rugby 100 Club podcast, where Major League Rugby stars tell their stories. But it's more than a podcast, it's a passport. Rugby 100 Club builds epic fan trips to follow your team on the road. Game day tickets included. Tailgates and fan meetups? You bet. Unforgettable memories every single time. Rugby 100 Club, where fandom meets the road.
All right, we're back with Marques. Marques, someone that wants to get into refereeing, what advice would you give them?
My advice is to understand that it's a journey. That's what it is. Like, it's not a destination. It's a journey. When you get involved in the game in that capacity, you on a long walkabout. So, and you're going to discover a lot about yourself, about the game. You're going to learn some things. You're going to have some trials and tribulations. But once you go on into it, knowing that it's going to be a journey, I think your expectations and your frustrations are a bit subsided. And so you kind of know that, yeah, I'm just starting out in my journey. So I'm going to make mistakes, and and I want to reach out, and I want to develop this and that. And so you kind of go into it knowing the story and the trajectory of that path as a referee. Because oftentimes, and they'll get the young kids or someone with they say potential, which kind of means that you're young and shape and look good. They all want that. And I'm not young.
Oh man.
I try to stay in shape. I do my hot yoga. I ain't too good looking. So I'm competing with those young folk that look good on TV, right? And they get thrown a lot of things at them early in their career. And the expectation is that those things going to keep getting thrown at you. Free trips and this and that. And, but it plateaus and it stops. They rope you in, but, everyone wants you in the beginning. And then once you've proven yourself, then you're going to be independent. You're going to be out there by yourself and putting the hard yards in. So kind of knowing the trajectory in that path, and it takes years. This is not as a referee, and it may scare off some people, but you can be involved 10 years pretty easily and just start to realize the fruits of your labor, and it's the same as a player. We're not expecting players to pick up a rugby ball 2 years later trying to say, like, I'm on the Eagles, right? unless what you have something outside that no one else has that, you know, they want to push you. But unfortunately, refereeing, you know, a knock on is a knock on, no matter who blows the whistle, buddy. So a lot of those things is that journey and setting yourself up for success. And just like right now, you know, getting a job that's forgiving, understanding that, you know, you will be working weekends. So, you know, if you get the job that's demanding, you know, that's going to put a stifle or plateau on that refereeing journey, making sure your family, your relationships are all solid and backing you the entirety of the time, understanding that it will be a sacrifice and someone's going to be upset, you know, your spouse, your kids, your grandma, someone's going to be upset through your absence, but you are serving the game, right? So,
Right.
you know, you're doing something to serve others. So it is a bit forgiving. You know, it's not like I mean, we see it at club rugby, right? You got the guys 35 still out there on the weekend, boy, you know,
Oh,
still
yeah.
getting it, you know, and then hopefully the girlfriends and the wives is there to support them. But it is a ticking time. It's like, hey, all right, wrap it up, man. Take care of them kids. But with the
Yeah.
refereeing space, you know, that it's a 12 in Southern California, at least it's a 12 months out of the year. You know,
Yeah.
you serving others. You out there making sure that these games can take place, and you teaching, developing, and shaping the game, you know, as we see fit, and kind of understanding your side of the growth in rugby in the US, and understand what you're going to bring to it. Understand that it's a process and a journey. It's kind of like my advice. People start and step out, and it's great. You know, you get a lot of friends in it. You travel a lot. You know, it's definitely rewarding. Um, just got to be open to it, open to the rewards and receiving them.
I mean, I think about your schedule, like just, you know, because we keep up a little bit and you're a busy guy, right? Like the higher you climb that totem pole, so to speak, the busier you're going to be. Like the more you're going to have to deal with people and in your relationships. And I'm glad you addressed that because outside looking in, you know, heck, I like to travel to a lot of games, say the least. And you're going to all these games consistently, getting paid for it. And look at that. You got the best poker face ever, I swear, bud. I'm never playing poker against you. But like, no, like I worry about the relationships because, you know, you got children, you have a queen, you know, like, and then of course you got everybody else. I can see where I'd put a lot of stress on those relationships. Why you come and going and half the time, I don't know that you always know when you're leaving and coming back.
No, I mean the honest part about it is at the top of the game. Let's listen, refereeing aside, if you a
Yeah.
coach at the top, right? You a full-time coach or full-time player, full-time referee, full-time administrator in rugby. Like you sacrifice someone's upset.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, it's first is your family. All right. They are upset. So your kids are upset. You know, my daughter's 15. She has a basketball season, and I probably made one game. You know, so she's only in high school once. I got one game,
Yeah.
right? And that's it. And so then, you know, it's easy to point the finger and be all like, "Oh man, you know, you can't make it to your kids." All right, great. You know, yeah, you can't. Or you know, I think I missed shit. I wind up missing last year. I had a referee camp, and it was my wife's birthday, right? But I had to make it. I got into some trouble, so
Oh, I
there
bet
was
you
no way
did,
out
bud.
to miss it. I had to make the camp, right? Because it's your career. You put all these
Right.
years into something,
Right.
and you at the top, and so you don't want it to crumble and go away. So it was that family decision. Like I got to go to this camp on your birthday, right? All the way to New England, and then guess what happens this year? Anniversary. Guess where I'm at? Camp, Miami. Fort Lauderdale, not even
Miami. I was going to
right?
ask
No,
you
it's
where
not
it
Miami.
was.
It was Fort Lauderdale. All right.
Wow.
So missed the birthday, missed the anniversary, and I'm sitting here looking at my fellow referees. You know, you putting the hard yards in, and most people aren't willing to do that. That's the difference. At the
Right.
top, that's the difference, is what you willing to sacrifice, and those who will sacrifice with you on that journey when you keep climbing up. That's the ultimate. That's where it gets tough. And performing, right? And
Yeah.
competing
Yeah.
against other referees, international and Canadians and everyone else for the opportunity to serve the game,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the hard
Wow.
part.
Yeah,
So
keeping the mental sanity in all
absolutely.
the ups and downs of that situation.
Yeah,
Wow,
and shout
okay.
out to everyone at Loose Heads. It was great for what they came in, and I
Yes.
think I'm signing my team up for the Loose Heads because as a head coach myself at Loyola High School, oldest Catholic school in private Catholic school in LA here.
Nice.
Um, eight of our boys lost their houses in the LA fires. One of our coaches, like,
That's
and that's
rough.
8 out of 50 odd kids, right? So that's a fifth. That's a fifth of the team almost affected.
Yeah.
And there's so much that the mental side of how to push through things, and the brotherhood and the structures that we have to put in place to have them, have someone there to be with them on the journey and to perform. That's the difference. Like, that's what rugby is. It's like, it's, you sacrifice this and that. Great. Now you still have to perform. So you don't get you do bad, you get cut. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. So great. You sacrifice this. You didn't do this. This person is pissed off at you for that. You miss work. You taking off of work in order to work, right? That's the worst. Let me take off days of work in order to go and work. You're
Right?
doing all of that, and the reward is being able to show that you are performing and that you rising up to the game. So, the sacrifices you make, in the professional space, especially in a game like rugby, as it's growing and becoming more professional, that's the hardest part. I mean, you got your podcast now, so I mean, your wife is looking at you, wondering when you getting back,
Oh yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the reality. Is
No.
people,
We're serving rugby. I love the way you put it, because that's exactly what we're doing. Like, yeah, I'll go to some games without the queen, just because of scheduling and responsibilities, as you said earlier about your own self. And yeah, you definitely have to have those hard conversations and be transparent and keep communication going, so you can, keep everything at keep it from blowing up, if you will.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Super excited about this season coming up. I'm going to have my 80th MLR game in Houston on March 1st. And I'm super geeked about it, because, like, I don't know any other fan that has that many games, man, to be honest with you.
I don't know anyone 80, man. That's an accomplishment, man. That's an
It's
investment too.
exciting.
And that's some good accounting. I don't know how you can count that out. I mean, you got it on the spreadsheet or something like that?
I got it on a spreadsheet. You know it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was about to
Yeah,
say, man.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think this year, but possibly next year I'll hit 100. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of games in a season. I might be able to, with playoffs and
I mean, it was 18,
championship.
19 in the season, and then playoffs. I mean, there's a chance, but
Close. And if I hit 2 in one weekend, like I've been known to do, let's go.
oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what I liked about.
But you got the midweek games now, so that's going to help out your effort, because
Oh, right.
you can do 2 in a week now, because you can do that
It's
Wednesday, and you could be somewhere else on Saturday, Sunday. So hey, it can happen.
yeah,
You know?
it's a goal. Yeah, you
Planning and
try.
preparation.
Yeah, definitely got it. I got to study that schedule. I mean, I'm already studying it, because we're launching a travel package for different games, and it's the first one is Chicago coming down to New Orleans, and then another one is Seattle going to DC. Another one is New Orleans fans going over to Houston, and then
See, this
Seattle
is where I
fans
gotta
going to New
start
Orleans.
charging you, because we had this conversation over a steak, man. And I was like,
We
Matt,
did.
man, this is what you do. All right. You got the sites, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got the expertise, you got the party, you get everyone there, You know what I'm saying? Everything is already pre-packaged out. You know, they just need to sign up, cut the check, and you deliver. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And now you're doing it. I feel like I need my 10%. I need my 5%.
You know,
I need my 5%.
I think you got that in that steak dinner because that was no cheap restaurant.
No, actually, and this is the worst part, man. And I was looking around. For one, you show up, you're like, yeah, I got the Escalade, man. I got the. You put the Escalade, you got the, boom, 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 hit the key. The key starts it up and everything. Got the Flowmaster exhaust on it with 24s or something like that. And you take it to some exclusive. I don't even know what the restaurant was.
Steakhouse, yeah.
Steakhouse. And I don't even go to steakhouse, so I don't even know what I'm supposed to be ordering, nothing like that. You come over here, I mean, it was delicious. Not gonna lie, that was the last steak I even ate too, because I'm on a referee budget.
Right.
I'm still on top ramen, noodles, and everything. So, man, it was delicious. But you definitely balled on us. And
I'm glad I left a good impression, my man.
It was real good, man. It was real good. We still talk about it. Victor.
Oh, that's good.
Talking about he saw you the other week. He's like, I saw you.
Yeah, he saw me up in Kirkland. We were doing. I was at an event for the Seawolves, and I saw him.
And we talked about that steak again. See, man, you do a good job, Matt. I give it to you.
I love that. Good job. Well, hey, I got one last question, and it's the easiest of all questions. Who are you thankful for in your rugby journey? I want you to give a shout
out. Say big shout out to KB. Kevin's the one who started the journey and is still with me on the journey. So, especially in the refereeing space, he was the one that got me to get certified. When we were coaching together back in Santa Barbara. So, and I think oftentimes when you look back at where you are, you're so appreciative, everything you accomplished. It's important to look back at who was with you throughout the journey, right? Throughout the process, and the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, that's the big one. And, even through his trials and tribulations, man, he's still at it, still working. MLRs, director of academies, still imprinting on the game, still doing the best that he can to grow, and all of those values and everything that he's been through over the years instilled in me. I try to emulate and try to, and within my small space of refereeing, do the same, through that regard. So big shout out to Kevin. Appreciate it. There we go, man.
I love it. No, that's awesome. Respect to KB. I like the way you put that. KB.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time, Marques. I know you're a busy man, so
we'll see you, man.
All right, sir. Have a good one.
We'll see you. Keep them heckles.
I wonder which games will. I wonder which games will cross paths. It's always fun.
Yeah. Which one are you going to first? What's first on your list?
The first one will be Houston. It'll be Seattle in Houston, March 1st. And then after that, it'll be a home game against New England on March, I want to say 8th in Seattle. Okay. Those will be my first two.
All right, sweet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know the schedules yet where we're going to be. So, hopefully I'll see you when I see you, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you, bud. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thanks. Absolutely.
Have a good one.
See you.